Well, it's different, that's for sure. It took me back to when I was coaching in Providence. I'd watch all the Bruins games, and obviously with interest, but then that was it. When the game was over, you're back to your own group. So, but this was, there was some contact with Joe between periods, the odd time, or Kevin, but predominantly they were doing their thing. They're in the soup in the heat of the battle, so I wasn't going to bother them other than if I saw something obvious. And the power play, because I take a bigger role in that. So, and it set up the meeting. So I Zoomed with the guys a couple times, every day, game day for power play, and then a couple times just post game to address a few things. So you're trying to stay involved, but out of the way once the puck drops, right? They've got to make their decisions. So, and Joe was great. They did a great job, obviously. Get the guys ready to play, Kevin and Chris and Bob, and and I think it was good for Joe to get back at it, to be honest with you. He'd been a head coach before, and hopefully that raises his profile. He did a good job, and guys responded well. So, but I'm also looking forward to getting back at it. I told him, it's not your job yet. Mine was okay. The toughest day I had was the Vancouver game at home. I tested positive the next day. Bad headaches. And, at first I'm like, is it that stressful? You know what I mean? You're thinking, but now I know why looking back. So I had 2 or 3 bad days, and then that's it. But you're in protocol. So you're separated and isolated and trying to find things to do, stay busy with the team, and then I get lethargic because you're not doing anything for 4 or 5 days, and you used to be active. So that was mine. So I'm thankful for that, health-wise it was not challenging, I guess, for me, other than a couple of bad days of headaches.
I imagine those couple of days you're wondering, is it going to get worse?
Well, respiratory, right? Because your chest gets a little heavy, and it's like, some of that you're not moving around as much, and I think your body is used to that. So. And I've heard I've had friends that have been hospitalized. A coach in Ottawa who I know had a high fever, but I never had a fever, so I always thought that's a good sign, because that's what seems to be associated with the guys that have it worse. So I was thankful for that. I was vaccinated. Does that have something to do with it? The scientists can answer that question. I hope it did. That you don't get severely ill. So. But that was my experience with it, and hopefully I don't have to go through it again.
What jumped out about your team as you watched, and they seem to, obviously the results got better as the
Well, taking it from the start, the Detroit game, I thought we were the better team as they were opportunistic. Kind of what happened with Calgary, all right, the flip side of it. So those things have a tendency sometimes to even out. You get the goaltending, the key save, you're opportunistic, you get a lead, and then you can play with it. So Tampa game was excellent. Guys, I thought, played up and down the lineup very well. The Edmonton game, I thought you're protecting the lead against a real good team. All of a sudden they come back, and I thought we responded great after they scored. We started pushing again. We weren't playing to get to the finish line in the tie. We were playing to win. So great response after that. Vancouver, I thought, was, went back and forth. Everyone talks about Vancouver's record. They got a bounce. You can see with Bruce going in there, they've won hockey games now. So there's no easy games in this league. So I thought both goaltenders were excellent that night. And then the Nashville game was solid. I thought we were real good down there too, against a hard team as well. So a lot of positives. Found ways to win when we weren't at our best out west the last 2 games, and that's a sign of a good team. Got to know how to win, and they showed that. So proud of them in that regard. And it was a tough travel day, I was told. Really bad getting out there in terms of the time and the time they get in and some of the stuff. So there's the time change on your body, you're moving around. So I thought they handled that part of adversity very well.
Bruce, from a human standpoint, how mentally fatiguing is some of the COVID stuff? It's been like 2 years now, what you had to go through, and how close was that to people, and then what happens in Calgary? How many ways?
Well, for me at least, the mental part, like I actually got COVID, so now it's almost like, okay, that's a punishment. You got to stay away. But say 3 weeks ago, you're going into Toronto and we have to wear a mask, right? I'm like, shit, we're starting this all over again. We did this in a bubble. We did this. That's the part that you're limited your activities away from the rink, even though none of the players have tested, positive, and there's a lot of that stuff going on, the new regulations, and it's all for everybody's good. We understand that, but it does get tiring mentally. You're exactly right. Now you see what happens with Calgary, right? They're shut down. So is that going to spread to is there any after effects for our guys, because we just played there? And we hope not in the long run. So it is tough, but it's the way the world is now, and you got to battle through it. I mean, obviously Tampa found a way 2 years in a row to come out on top through COVID times, and as long as they play the games, you have to find a way. But I think in general it is tough on people, and hopefully we can, like I said, find a way to put it behind us where we can get back to normal way of living and dealing with it appropriately.
How do you feel as though Frederick's game is kind of fair to shifting back over to center?
Better. I think he's moving his feet more in the middle. Obviously, you have a little more room to do that. Playing the wing is a little more stop and starts, confined area on the boards. So that part has been good. I think the physicality's been there. He got rewarded a little bit offensively the other day. But hey, a clean breakout, right? That's where it starts. You're not going to get any offense if you don't get out of your end. And we didn't have a lot of those, and it led to a goal. Simply because we were clean, we supported well. The other play was getting pucks to the net, around the front of the net. Lazar, he scored a couple like that now, and understanding how you're going to score in this league as well, or be part of the scoring, which he was. So good for Freddie. Hopefully it gives him some confidence offensively. Obviously there's still parts of his game we want to clean up, but all in all, we put him in the middle with a plan in mind that we'd like to keep him there for an extended period of time and see if he can handle it in the NHL level on a regular basis. So we're still in that sort of process, and he's done a good job. And obviously, if he was going to hurt the team, we would have put him out of there. You got to do what's right for the team first, but you're trying to, put the players in the best chance to succeed too. So as long as it keeps going in a positive or neutral manner, and we'll stick with it.
Missing guys today for the Patriots?
Bergie, Marsh were maintenance days. The other three were testing issues that we're hope they'll be cleared tomorrow.
Concerned just about the issues going on in Calgary?
Yeah, you can't help it, right? I mean, there's that, but we don't think there's going to be an issue, but we have to play it safe here, and they'll go through their testing again today, and hopefully back on the ice tomorrow morning.
Bruce, big picture with goaltending, maybe how much the boost can that be, guys playing off that the way that women don't want to play these last week?
Well, it's huge, right? I think you ask any team, it's the most important part of the game is that if your goaltending is not where you need it to be, it can deflate the team, and you start cheating and starting to get away from your structure sometimes. But if you know they're there for you when you break down, you're going to play the game better. You just are, because you know that, okay, he'll bail me out. I'm going to get back at it and do it right the next time. And I think Lena's full marks both games. Outstanding. Like I said, bailed us out on our breakdowns and allowed the guys to sort of put it behind them and keep playing, not get negative thoughts going into their game. So I think every team would tell you that. Sway in Vancouver did the same thing. So it's good to see that's what we thought it would be. That's what we hope it'll continue to be, where it's steady every night. Maybe not. We don't want to, give up as many opportunities as we did in Edmonton and Calgary. Both you have the lead on the road, so you're going to give up some. Teams are going to push. They're good teams, but hopefully we can minimize that. But they can keep giving us those big stops.
I think we've talked to you since the DeBrusk trade request went public. I'm just curious, is it challenging just to have a player on your team that you're coaching when it's kind of with the knowledge that he maybe wants a fresh start?
Well, listen, I think it was Mike Tomlin that said it a while ago. I heard a quote. I don't know if they were dealing with a player. He said it's always better when you have volunteers as opposed to hostages, right? It's just easier to run your room and your team. And we're no different in that case. Having said that, Jake's come to work every day, talking to Joe. He's ready to play and not being a distraction. We talked to the leaders in the room, and they've accepted it. It happens in sports. They just want to play. The ask of Jake when I talked to him was, help us win games. Help us win hockey games. Be a good pro. And we'll try to do what we can for you. That goes upstairs to Donnie, obviously, but we want to do what's best for the team as well. So I think we're handling it well as a group. He's tried to be as professional as possible in this situation, so that's the ask of everybody. And we'll see how it plays out. Again, that'll be up to Donnie to do what he has to do to improve our team. So only he can answer timeline on that.